The visuals on the team, we want to continue to grow, so we are stronger together when we fly together.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. Woo! Flock up or flock off, not you. You stick around because it's about to go down. You already know you are now flocking with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse already. And we are here on the Memorial Day weekend, at the beginning of Memorial Day weekend, so we can't help but be hyped up. And I had to hop on here on a PHly Friday. PHly Friday. PHly Friday. Fly Eagles Fly Friday. Off-season edition. Had to hop in here because you know what? It's going to be a long weekend. I don't know the next time I'll be able to hop in here. Maybe I'll hop in for a quick 1-2s. You know what I mean? Like, why not? You know what? I need to start doing that just wherever I'm at. But I need to be here in my nest sometimes. Like, I need this energy. This all has to be zen, 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 zen. Because I'm here doing my therapy session with y'all, man. Thank y'all for hopping in, flocking in, and rocking with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse. So, boom. A whole lot of things going on right now. We got, you already know. What are we going to throw in the flock pots? We got so much to throw in the flock pots real quick. We're going to try and get it in here because y'all already know. I could be a bit long-winded, but I want to get in here. You already know what's going on today. It is wild as... Oh, but before we get into anything, let's keep the maniac thing. Please like and subscribe. If you about that fly, Eagles fly, drop a comment in that box. If you flying with the flock, do remember, join the maniac thing Noti gang. You hit that bell, you get a bing. Whenever I'm on this YouTube thing, let's fly. And always, as always, let's keep the main thing the main thing. I hope this video finds you in good vibes, good tides. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there because we about to go there. Oh, yeah. And something that's been heavy on my mind before we get into the flock pots and all that. The other day I said I was, in support of the Eagles and their fight against autism. Like, dude, the autism walk that autism with. So basically, not the fight, because autism is here, it's always going to be here. And thank anyone out there with autism and all the great contributions they have brought to society in any walk, in any way, in any shape or form, So it's not a fight against autism, to help people with their autism awareness, basically. And that's what I love PHly doing with the autism walks and all that they do in their support of awareness for autism. And you go, whew, because it's just when I watched the video back, I'm like, what am I talking about? Fight. This is madness, whatever the case may be. And that's where the space will be, because that's where I say it's at. Okay. All right. So let's move on into these flock pots. What we got for the day. You already know. Number one in the flock pot, DeAndre Hopkins. We could just drop that there and leave it there. And everything else would just be a hodgepodge. And plus so much more that we're going to get into. We got a little bit of our O-line is OD. Woo, 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 woo. PFF breaks me down, then they build me up. You know what I'm saying? Just so much. Look, they're talking about it right now. DeAndre Hopkins. What else we got for these fly pots? What else did I want to hop into, man? Just so much more. All these acquisitions that we can make, man. So that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to throw all this in a flock pot, throw it on the table, chop it up, and you consume it how you deem fit. And now we off to the races. DeAndre Hopkins, bro. DeAndre Hopkins just got released, not just a few hours earlier. You know what I mean? Heard that, man? Listen. DeAndre Hopkins got released by the Cardinals. This is just wild to like, what? I mean, it was a big cap hit. They're in rebuild mode. I guess they saw, like, what's the point of holding on to him? You figure what? They're going to be playing with a backup quarterback for possibly half the season, and that's big money to just throw at a guy, and you don't know what may come from it. So I get it. And of course, as soon as he's released, I'm seeing it all across the Eagleverse. Everyone's talking about it. And I'm just the other day, I'm here like, no way. It just doesn't work. There are enough balls to go around. Just the other day, something else that I forgot to mention about that in that interview with Brandon Marshall and Ashley Nicole Moss. I don't know why I'm flocking in there. She's a Carl Cowboys fan. Anyway, so boom. In his interview, I Am Athlete, I thought it was called Paper Chase, Paper Route, whatever the case may be. I Am Athlete, their vehicle over there, right? So he was also talking about how many targets he gets. And, of course, as a receiver, sometimes because we don't understand their jargon, the way they talk, how they break it down, how they get down, sometimes things can come off as a bit off-putting. They're talking about the Eagles record again. Why are they always talking about us? Adam Rank, what you got us at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's 2 underway. I got us. 13. He calls it. Everyone's calling that last game an L because we'll be resting guys like So what? Our backups could beat their starters. Look, we men them. Nah, chill. So check it out. You got he's talking about this, him and AJ Brown, and of course you want to catch more balls in this game. It may be scripted for this wide receiver and that receiver, but basically it's all in the spirit of competition, and no, really in the spirit of contribution. You want to contribute to what your team's doing. You want to contribute in these wins, not so much like because they get that diva tag placed upon them, and sometimes it's not warranted. Sometimes I say, most times it isn't warranted. So with all that, people are already talking about that. Then you gotta get some balls to Goddard. You gotta throw something to Swift. I mean, there's so many weapons on this team. Like, I mean, I already know we've been seeing this for the last few weeks, but every time I see it on Instagram or Facebook or something, and I just see the weapons on this Eagles team, like the Pennies, the Swifts, the Gainwells, the Bostons, and that's just the backfield, brother. Then you got AJ and Smitty and Kez and Alameda Zacchaeus, just guys all over the place, not to mention Goddard. And then we got Dan Arnold over here. Dude. Like, is that Roseanne's husband playing for the Eagles? Bro, we got weapons everywhere. This is wild. So you got all of that. And I'm pretty sure there's guys that I'm forgetting. So it's just amazing. And now you're talking about, not to mention, and we're just, like I said, it's going to become a hodgepodge now because it's all over the place what's going on. We're just going to piggyback that into all the acquisitions and all the additions that other people are saying. I just saw, this just came up through my eagle eye. I had to open my eagle eye. Open your eagle eyes. And I open my eagle eyes and I see a Philly Voice article talking about shit the Eagles add Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, Julio Jones, Buda Baker, Matt Ariza, just fill in the blank. Like, dude, initially when you see it, you don't see the whole article. You just see the tops of it. So I just saw Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, Julio Jones. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Zach Ertz in a backup capacity, it's just, I don't think the money would match. Although you just feel like Zach Ertz would come back here for $1. But no, because he left for a lot more than $1. He needs a little more change. So you got that going on. Julio Jones, like you've heard Smitty mentioned Julio Jones on numerous occasions as far as guys, who's in his top 5 as far as Alabama receivers and all that. He's got him up there towards the top. Was it him or Calvin Ridley? I forget. Was it Calvin Ridley? Nah, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, whatever. He had his top 5 Alabama list. Of course, he's on that thing. You already know. Heist should be number 1 if you ask me, but Julio is the truth, right? Whatever the case may be, you add Julio to this locker room, and now you got his, basically not so much his idol, a mentor. AJ's already played with him. Quick, easy addition to this locker room. Alameda and him already have that Atlanta connection, so it could be a great addition. Julio Jones, what really could he do for the team, though? I mean, slot, big guy. Can he bring that blocking receiver that we need, that we had in Zach Pascal last season, who a lot of us are taking for granted? This is a big deal. We have to fill that void that he left as far as being a blocking wide receiver, albeit AJ could do that too. But do you want to allocate A.J. Brown to blocking at any time as a injury risk, as just production? You need this guy out here running routes. But it can be a good deal. These coaches know what they're doing. I leave it to them because I'll be sitting here spending my brain all day trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. We're just throwing it out there, throwing it on the table. And instead of consuming, I'm choosing to throw that one up, leave that one out of here. So Julio Jones. And then, like I said, if you add a DeAndre Hopkins, where are these passes? What the fuck? Oh my! I mean, anything is possible, right? We saw what your boy, Burrow. Burrow had 3 receivers with 1,000 yards. We came damn close to that last year ourselves. If Zach Goddard. Wow, listen to me, man. I used to call him God Ertz when he first came, right? Let me chill out on that. But you got Goddard. Dallas got. Oh, that's why I want to get Dallas. Dallas Goddard would have had 1,000 yards possibly also, if not for his injury last season. So, I mean, anything's possible. Could you imagine a team? This is what I said before last season, a bit hyperbole, and, trying to just put it out there in the universe, seeing what comes back to me. It's like, gosh, Jalen Hurts is going to have 5 1,000-yard receivers and throw for 5,000 yards. It's going to be crazy. Anything is possible with this offense. I believe I was watching on, Go Talk with LB and Philly Mike, and I was just like, dude, them dudes are stepping it up. That duo right there. I remember watching in the beginning. It was a bit rough tides. They're just two dudes, having fun. And, like, okay, cool. Do your thing. But yo, this last one, running back season. These dudes went in, they dumped. It was crazy. And I say all of that to say this. Let's bring it back in. He's going off. He's going to have more yardage, basically. This is what Philly Mike was saying. He's going to have more yardage this season just because of game flow, basically. A lot of teams are going to be in the games with us a bit more this season, possibly because it's a tougher schedule. We know those things don't always pan out like that, but just looking at things off face of value, off of how they stand right now, this is a high probability. A lot of times last season, brought to my attention, 3 times last season, Jalen Hurts didn't play the third quarter. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. So that's damn near a whole other game right there that he missed. So that would be 3 games in total you could damn near say he missed as far as time and acquiring that lofty 4,000 yard season goal, 4,000 yards on the season through the air, So he was right there knocking on that door already in just 13 games, you could say. 14 actually, 2 less than what they normally had, 3 less, 1 less. Whatever the case may be, he could have achieved that. So this year, as far as game flow goes and the way games playing out, being that we're playing a bit sturdier competition, these numbers could skyrocket, go through the roof. And so on that end, I can see possibly, because this is what we all want. Who doesn't want that crazy high-powered wide receiver squad? I mean, dude, Boyd is a pretty damn good receiver. If you're just looking at the Bengals, because they're basically the picture of this right now as far as having 3 stud wide receivers. We thought Kez... We don't know what could have happened to Kez last season. Like I said, that injury could have been hampering a lot more than he let on. He was just out there with a dog mentality, like, I'm going to do what I got to do for my team, and we should be lauding him for that as opposed to dragging him through the dirt. Who knows? We don't know how it went down. Only that locker room, those walls, those doctors, him and God. It's a lot of people to know, right? Regardless of whom or what, it's possible to do it. Because not only did they have those 3 in Boyd, Higgins, and Jamar Chase, there was also the tight end who I'm pretty big on. He went to the Jets, and I always forget his name. I always end up calling him TJ Houshmandzadeh or something. CJ Uzomah. There we go. Bang, boom, pow. I just have to say Houshmandzadeh's name first, and then it pops up. Benko Bilboa is working today. So we got that going, and I just think it works if you work it, so work it. That's how I feel about it, and it would be amazing. So crazy. And that's where I stand on that. And as far as all these acquisitions, where the acquisition thing go right now, Buda Baker's another name that's popping up. Of course, we'd love that. And Matt Araiza, I mean, if the troubles that he went through the allegations that are on him proved to be false, and it's a lot of weight, a lot of things for a kicker. Did you see what the Lions did for the kicker? They got Benjamin Mattis gave up a seven, what was it? Oh, it's an unspecified draft pick to the Broncos to pick up Brandon McManus, a kicker. I'm like, Detroit is tripping me out right now. I don't know if they're being innovative and they're ahead of the curve right now, or they're just Detroit Lions lying. It's right over there, but enough of them. Let's bring it back into the nest. Matt Araiza, another name that's popping up. Right now, I'm like, we're good with Tyler Zentner. Let's chill out. We got Legatron. Let's do what we do. Sip us, do what you got to do, and let's move on like that. But we have no idea what this dude is going to look like in the NFL, on an NFL field. There's so many differences as far as special teams goes. Like, we may not notice it, but I notice it. We may not notice it, but I notice it. You like how I'm breaking that down? Yeah. So, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to find out. Like, just looking at Aaron Sipos from college. Remember me last year? I was hype on him even after he damn near blew the game against the Yuccaneers. Like, I was still with him. Like, let's go. But he's proven like two of the last seasons ended partially. We ended in losses partially practically because of him. I don't want to blame it all on the punter, man. Like Seth Joyner. No, it wasn't Seth Joyner. It was one of the defensive guys. I forget who it was, but regardless of what, giving up 28 points in that second half. Perhaps we did not deserve it when Bradbury said that, man. It just look at the inside of that guy. He gets it. Sees it real the way it's supposed to be seen. Not always looking through eagle-colored glasses like I always do, man. Just stick on for my guys. Like, we should have won that game. We had that game. Matter of fact, in my mind, we won that game. I'm still in denial. So, boom, we got that going on. Then there's just a few things that we're going to hop into real quick before we get up out of here on a Memorial Day weekend on a Fly Friday. You know, I spell it with a P. On Friday, it's our pep rally. And what are we getting pep for? Get pep. Memorial Day weekend. You know what I'm saying? So we got that going. Jordan Mailata named the Eagles' most underappreciated player in ranking of NFC teams. This came across on the Eagles Wire. Just popped up through my eagle eyes. And I was like, let's throw this on the table. Mailata, you know, initially when I see this, I'm like, what do you mean underappreciated? Then I saw how much he's getting paid. And, you know, he's not up there like left tackles get the bag, you know? And he's not getting, I believe he's getting, what, 17 mil this year? Well, no, that's a chunky amount. But he does so much for us. And the other thing that we forget, you know, sometimes we take it for granted, the luxury that we were afforded and getting a left tackle in the 7th round, albeit we did spend first-round capital as far as, as soon as guys out the door, I forget their names. There's that Genko Bo out the door. What's your boy's name? The dude we just let go. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Regardless of what, spent first-round capital, spent 7th-round capital on the tackle, and we got him in the 7th round, and he's the guy that ended up working out. However, he does so much for us, and we forget that because, you know, we take it for granted. We got it. It's dope. Yes, let's keep on pushing. Not to mention, this dude is only 26 years old. I thought he was so much older. So, I mean, yikes, it's crazy. Hasn't even scratched his surface yet. And PFF ranked him number 6. What? So he's top 10. So as far as I tackled him, and they ranked Lane Johnson number 2. Don't know how that happened. Behind Penny Sewell, he's pretty nice his damn self. Regardless of what, you know, I don't even want to get in. That's another list, another disc. We'll save that for another day. Regardless of what, with the number 2 and number 6 tackles in the league, like, it's just, the protection for Jalen Hurts is just crazy. This whole offense is stupid. This O-line domination is just nuts. And I don't know Howard Mudd. I'm talking Howard Mudd University. Stoutland University. Are you kidding me? Just bringing them in and bringing them out, setting them up for greatness. I'm loving it. And we got a few more this year added to Stoutland University. A few guys that have already been to Stoutland University, and DJ Fluker, they brought him in for a tryout. We're going to see how that pans out. And another guy, well, he didn't go to Stoutland University, but he did go to Alabama, and now he's back in the fold. Not back in the, you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So he's back over here with us, rocking with Stoutland, the king of all offensive line coaches. They say Callahan's up there with him too, but you know, we're going to rock with our guy, right? Number one. Another quick thing. Yeah, you know, that's cool. Jason Kelsey was among the NFL best 30 players over 30 years old. That was dropped by SB Nation the other day. How do y'all feel about that? I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's probably the best 30. But we got a whole lot of them dudes over here in this locker room. When you're talking about the Brandon Grahams, the Fletcher Coxes, like, is Bradbury up there yet? Slade's got to be, right? Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. We might have to do something about that. Mailata was Landon Dickinson's best man at the wedding. That's just wild. Like, these dudes, I just love the camaraderie in this team, this connection in this locker room. It's a beautiful thing to behold. And I just can't wait for this season to start. Oh my gosh, I mean, can't wait for some training camp. There we go. Dude, I'm on my stutter game crazy today. It's wild. Just having a good time out here, man. It's just because I'm blowing the gas on all ends. Football, Memorial Day weekend, we're cooking out, we're getting it down. It's about to be a good time. But speaking of Memorial, man, but big shout out to the soldiers, big shout out to the vets. Support our vets out there. You see them, rep them, hold them down. You know what I'm saying? Just salute. Thank them for their service. You know what I mean? Always remember. You feel me? Got that going. But in Memorial, as far as Memorial goes with the Eagles, they're talking about having a 30-30 for the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. Let's go. Can't wait till that pops on, man. And I was just thinking, you know, I'll leave y'all with this. if you wanted a 30 for 30, like just a memorial this weekend of one of your favorite Eagles, who would you want it to be? Who would you want to see it on? A 30 for 30 for one of your favorite Eagles, a football, like whatever the case may be. How do you feel? What do you want to? Like, oh, which dude? I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, Brandon Graham's still playing. You know, that's my guy. There's already been, I believe they did a football life from Randall Cunningham, Brian Dawkins, and then they're doing a 30-30 on Reggie White. Like, what do you want? Because then this may encompass everything. At least for me, this is how I feel. And it's not necessarily, well, of course it's an Eagle. He's a coach. Give me some Jimmy Johnson, baby. Let's go. And then they could just break down all these defenses, defensive philosophy, and all these guys and all the guys that played under them. So I'm getting them all in one big hodgepodge of Eagle goodness on Memorial Day weekend. I'm over here flocking out, y'all. It is what it is. But y'all know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. Until the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You already. And until then, we got questions. We got questions for the whole Eagleverse. Not even, man, the Eagleverse knows what's up. We got questions for the rest of the world. What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs wild on you? Let's go. Love this Eagle right here. Oh yeah, play my music, Kingster. EAGLES, Eagles. Yeah, here we go.
EAGLES.